अच्छा मैं ये देख सकती क्या ये का नोटिफिकेशन अच्छा मैं ये देख सकती क्या ये का नोटिफिकेशन ये सोडी राइट मिनट में Hello, good evening, everyone. So today we'll be solving. Today we'll be solving the RIMC paper. All right, and we see that the paper has been divided into different sections. So I'll start off first with section A. That section A is reading passage, which comprises of 25 marks, and I'll read out the passage to you all first. Question 1, read the passage and answer the questions that follows, consist of 15 marks. It does not sound appropriate for anybody to use the profession they belong to as the most important thing on earth to define who they are or what they are. Of course, one must be proud of one's profession, but to consider a particular profession to be head and shoulder above others is definitely preposterous. Indeed, every profession is equally important. However, it is the nature of time and space that attaches more importance to a particular profession. For instance, when we think of giving our children the best education possible, teachers are very important. When we fall ill, doctors are very important. When we think of the security of the nation, people in uniform, that is the soldiers, the army, navy, the air force, and the police are very important. And when we watch the football World Cup, many of us wished we were footballers. So basically, this passage is talking about profession, different professions, and how they are important. So as they're explaining in the first paragraph, it's not the profession which is actually important, but it is the people who make it important, their presence and the job they do, the way they perform, right? So we can move ahead. There's a different example shown there of different professionals, maybe the doctors, the soldiers, vice versa. So it is not the profession that makes us great, it is we that make a profession great. Just we spoke about the same. If a patient dies in a hospital due to the carelessness of a doctor, many a times this happens, the doctor won't feel great about his or her profession, obviously because he's not able to save the patient. That's his job. Or if a scientist starts about developing a deadly virus to destroy mankind, people of his profession might be seen by the world as viruses. On the contrary, when we think of Anand Kumar's Super 30 program that has set many underprivileged students to IITs, the profession of teaching is seen as something second to none. When we think of how Captain Vikram Batra and Captain Manoj Kumar Pandey laid down their lives for the country, we have the highest respect for those who protect the nation. So these have actually set the role model for us to have an ideal or to put ourselves into these professions and also act the same, not just be in the professions, but be committed towards that profession. So these are really good examples there. We have the highest respect for those who protect the nation. Cricket has almost become a religion in India. We know the fan following because of people like Kapil Dev, Sunil Gavaskar, Sachin Tendulkar, Mahendra Singh Dhoni, etc. And during the pandemic, the world put the healthcare professionals, so we had Corona warriors, as the pedestal, on the highest point, because they risked their lives to save millions of COVID patients around the globe. In fact, we all have witnessed the 2 years in pandemic, how bravely our doctors, nurses, the health staff, and all others who were in the mainstream during the pandemic actually proved their duty to the fullest. And more than that, I mean, people were working more than 24 hours to prove and save people's life. Also, young boys and girls who have started to go to school must know that they should have big dreams and they must pull out all the stops to achieve their dreams. However, if they do not become responsible and productive citizens of their country after they have achieved their dreams, they cannot be considered assets of the country or blessings or a boon for their country. It is only if you make yourself true to your profession. So we can discuss now the question and answers. How do we make our profession great? Give an example. So I will just be discussing that answer with you all. Okay. So that's answer 1A. So I'll read it out first, y'all. We can make a profession great by doing our best duties and fulfilling the needs of a profession to the fullest. And an example of the same is, if I am, for example, in the customer service industry, I will make sure or I'll try to solve the customer's problem to the best of my ability. So I will just be writing that so that it becomes clear. And I'll also mention the example here. Obviously, example, you can cite your own example. This is what I felt I could quote. All right, moving ahead to the next question. Yes. Can any profession be considered the best and why? So again, if we have a good reading to this passage, it says, and I believe that no profession is best. It is actually the people who do work in that profession who make it best or worse. That is vice versa. For example, we can cite the example of the passage. If a patient dies in a hospital due to the carelessness of the doctor, the society won't be or feel great about his or her profession. So that would be the suitable answer. I'm also writing this so that it's clear. Just a minute. All right. That is answer B. No profession is best. It is. It is people who do work in that profession who make it best or worst. That is vice versa. For example, if a patient dies in a hospital due to the carelessness of the doctor, the society won't feel great about his or her profession. All right, now we could move to the third question. What advice has been given to the young students by the passage? It states there in the last paragraph, young students should definitely have big dreams and they must pull out all the stops, means they should not leave any of their efforts unturned to achieve their dreams. Only then will they be considered as assets of the society. So I'll be writing that for you all. Right, so we're done with the 3 questions there. Moving ahead to the next question. How do we make our profession look bad? Give an example. So the answer to that would be, we make our profession look bad by not doing our work efficiently. For example, again, the same example from the passage, we could cite another one. If a scientist starts about developing a deadly virus to destroy mankind, people of this profession might be seen by the world as viruses. So actually, it's people who make the profession good or bad. So I'll write that answer for everyone. That answers question D. We'll move to question E. So let's move to question E now. It says, find the words from the passage which mean the following. So ridiculous would be preposterous. I will write that here. So let's move to it says, find the second one says wealth, which would mean assets. And the third one says deprived. We could say underprivileged. So that gets us to the end of question E. Now we have question F here. Right. All right, so we have question F. Question F says, find the phrases from the passage which mean the following: to be a lot better than others. And the answer to that would be to be head and shoulders above others. Then I've got the second one. Answer to that, make a lot of effort to pull out all the stops. So I think that's clear for now. And we can move to the next passage for the section. Yes, it says question 2, read the given poem and answer the questions that follow for 10 marks. So I'll give a reading to the poem. I have taken a road, I have traveled some distance. The ride has been bumpy. Should I go ahead or not? Should I blame myself for the road I have taken? No, I used to love it, though the reality is a little harsher. Should my family be blamed for the road I have taken? No, they thought this is where I would travel fastest. They say the other roads, though appear smoother and greener, have their own puddles. It's done with a design. Each road is a life and is not a bed of roses. Believe that your road is the best and always look forward to the best. So, if you all have read, this is very close to a famous poem written by Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken. So, basically, it talks about the choices which a person makes in his or her life. And there are some choices which we decide by ourselves, which may be tougher, all right, or which might not give us results, but we have agreed to choose that path or road. So actually, the poet wants to ask here questions or interrogations, rhetorical questions, wherein he questions that should he blame himself or his family for the choices he's made or for the path he's chosen. The family told him that this would be the fastest one, the others would be little one with difficulties. So at the end, the poet summarizes by saying that, as we say, the famous saying, life is not a bed of roses. We have to be practical in life. Obviously, we can dream, but later on, we realize that to achieve that dream, we really need to work hard and prove ourselves in this world. So, as we've understood the poem now, we will start writing or discussing the answers. So that is question 2. Now, first one is actually dependent on what you feel. Give a suitable title to the poem. However, what I felt I will mention, I could relate the title of the poem to my choices in life. So I believe this could be my title. However, each one could have a reading and put their own title according to their perception or thinking. The second question says, why does the poet feel hesitant to go ahead? We could say the poet feels hesitant to go ahead as his previous ride or choice he has taken is bumpy or filled with obstacles. So I'll be writing that down. All right. So we have finished that question there. The next question says, why won't the poet blame his family? When we were discussing this poem, it's just mentioned that I would like to say the poet won't blame his family, as the choice was his in life to take the difficult or the easy road. So I don't think he can blame his family. I'll just write that down. All right. And now we'll discuss question D. Why won't the poem blame himself? So we could say the poet won't blame himself as he loved the choice. Same way, he is independent to make his choice. He made it, although he knew that the reality was going to be a little harsher. Still, he made that choice. So he cannot blame himself also. So I will be writing that down. All right. So that brings us to question D. Now we'll move to the E1. What is the message given by the poet? As the saying rightly says, life is not a bed of roses. We have to dream, realize a goal, work hard, and achieve our aim. So I would stick to this one, and I'll also write this up for you all. Life is not a dream. Sorry. Life is not a bed of roses. We have to dream, realize a goal, work hard, work hard, and achieve our aim. All right, now we'll go ahead with F. Name the literary devices used in the poem. Explain with examples. So there are many over there. However, I felt we could discuss this one. And I would go with interrogation or rhetorical questions, as they are known. So, rhetorical question or interrogation is a poetic device where no answer is expected from the reader or the audience. However, the poet uses the rhetorical questions to emphasize or stress on some topic, and it is laid or portrayed by asking the questions to make the reader or audience think or ponder about the same. Two examples over here of rhetorical questions. Should I go ahead or not? In the first stanza, you can see, should I blame myself for the road I have taken? Also, we can quote, should my family be blamed for the road I have taken? So I've just discussed that, and I'll be writing the same for you. So the literary device is known as a rhetorical question. Examples. The first one, should I go ahead or not? Second one, should I blame myself for the road I have taken? And I'll discuss that. So this poetic device is used wherein the poet does not expect any answer from the reader However, emphasis or stress is laid on asking the question asking the questions to make the reader Just a second. Make the reader think or ponder about the question. So that gets us to question F. Now we'll move on to the G1. It says find the words from the poem which mean the opposite of the following. So we've got the word as bumpy, right? And the opposite for that would be smooth. So I'm just mentioning that on in written. Then we've got disbelief. That'll be belief. That gets us to the end of the second passage, the poem. I would like to now go ahead and discuss first the grammar questions. So we'll move to section C, grammar, 40 marks there. So we have answer 8, and the question says, identify the parts of speech of the words underlined in the following. First one, though he was angry, he remained calm. So though is used as a conjunction. Then the second one says, I have never met a miserly person like him. Miserly is the adjective. After that, we have each of you will be rewarded. So each will be considered as the pronoun. And last one, each boy will be given a pen. Here, each will be an adjective because it's followed by the noun boy. Now we have answered question number 9. Rewrite the following using correct tenses. I have taken breakfast 2 seconds ago. So I will write that I took breakfast 2 seconds ago. Then the B part. The Prime Minister will leave for London tomorrow. The Prime Minister will be leaving. We'll use the future perfect, future continuous tense. Next, he came to my house after I had my lunch. So we can put that as he will have come to my house after I had my lunch. Will have come. Then we have, she came to my house while I read a novel. She came to my house while I was reading novel. Two simultaneous actions going there. That's why the past continuous. Then we have question 10. Transform the following sentences by making use of the instructions given in brackets. And Messi is the best footballer in the world. So to make it into a negative, I would say Messi is not the best footballer in the world. Next, we do not know where the girl lives. We're converting that to a simple sentence. We can simply say, we are not aware where the girl lives. Next, despite his poverty, he continued to have big dreams, converted into a compound sentence. So we'll be saying it as, although, we can use the conjunction, although he was poor, he continued to have big dreams. Next says, Mahendra Singh Dhoni is admired by everyone. So convert that to a question. Who is admired by everyone? We get the answer, Mahendra Singh Dhoni. We move to E. The fearless soldier was able to kill the 5 terrorists single-handedly. Complex sentence. We need to convert that. So we could say the soldier was able to kill Okay. So we can start by saying E1. The soldier was able to kill soldier was able to kill 5 terrorists single-handedly as he was fearless. So we are adding that clause, as he was fearless. Next one. Next one says, as soon as we reached the stadium, the coach shouted at us. We could convert that as, negative they're saying. So as we did not reach, did not reach the stadium on time, the coach shouted at us. Next says the chef cooked the meal, passive voice. So the meal was cooked by the chef. Then we have Raju said that he had completed the assignment the previous day. Convert that into direct speech. So we can say, Raju told, I have completed my assignment yesterday. The next says, why did your sister not like the car? Passive voice. I can mention that as, why was the car not liked by your sister? The next says, Meena said to Tina, let's go to the theater tomorrow. So Meena told Tina that they would go to the theater the next day. Next, question number 11. Write the idioms or phrases which mean the following: to be excited or nervous. There are a couple we could say: to be worried, to be tensed, to be unrest. Second one says quickly or very fast. So either to be quick, to be rapid, to be fast as well. Next one, to avoid or shy away from danger, to avoid something, to elude, to abandon or to renounce. Next is to do something to get the attention of others, to emphasize, to accentuate, to stress on something, or to highlight. Next is of a feeling being felt by everyone. So that is to understand, to be humane, to be aware. We are good to go with that. Next question says the 12th one. Write one word each for the following expression. It's a study of handwriting. It's known as graphology. Write that. Then we have fear of books, that is bibliophile. Then we have a place for keeping bees. It's an apiary or bee yard. Then we have a person who helps a golfer is known as a caddy, CADDIE or CADDY. Then we have a figure of speech which consists saying something which is just the opposite intended. It's known as an irony. The next question says, identify the underlying grammatical particles in the following sentences. This car is mine. So this over there is a demonstrative adjective. Then my is a possessive adjective because there are nouns following it. Then we have the door was left open. Left will be the main verb. Then we have the cake was eaten by them. Then will be the pronoun. Then the sentence says, what is your name? In this, what will be an interrogative pronoun because there's no adjective after there's no noun after the word what. So it will be an interrogative pronoun. Next, question number 14 says, the following words have two or more meanings. Give two different meanings for each of the word and frame sentences using the same. So first is match, that is a game. So we can say we played a football match. The other match is like fixing an alliance or something suitable. So that would be they were perfect match. Next is watch. One is the watch we wear, and next is watch, keeping a guard on someone. So I watched the cat sleeping, and I have got a new watch. And then we have ring, which is either ringing the bell, or then it's the wedding or the marriage ring. So peon rang the bell. Another one is I had worn a beautiful ring. Basically, it's an ornament. Next is point. So one is to make a point or to prove your idea, and the other is a point, a place, or we can say a meeting point. So they proved their point with facts to the manager. And next would be we all met at the discussed point. Next is bear. So one is your animal, and the other bear means tolerate. So we've got to make sentences. We could say, okay. Sources, bear, I saw a wild grizzly bear in the forest. No one can bear injustice. So that gets us almost to the end. I could discuss one of the writing skills. It says section B, writing. You are Manisha, a resident of South Delhi. Write a letter to the editor of the Times of India telling him or her how every resident of Delhi would contribute to creating a healthy environment in the city in 175 words. So this is actually a formal letter. I will read it out rather than writing. So as we all know, the format, it will all be towards the left margin or the index of writing, and no spacing is required. So first will be your address, that is the sender's address, then will come the recipient's address, and then the salutation, subject, and so forth. So I'll just read out. 26 Kamala Nagar, Delhi. You can write today's date, maybe yesterday, 2nd June 2023. The editor, The Times of India, New Delhi. So, madam, then your subject, regarding what we or the citizens can do to protect the environment. And then we can begin the first one. Through the column of your esteemed daily, I would like to draw the kind attention of the common masses towards the step to save the environment. What I can do is renew my bond with nature by recognizing the right of all living things to live on this planet improve our environmental awareness about the current environmental trends and problems and what needs to be done, practicing the 3 Rs, that is reduce, reuse, recycle. Reduce by minimizing waste, reuse by reusing it, recycle by processing it, as we're all aware of this. Spread the environmental message, support local environmental groups, use our citizen and consumer rights to participate in the formulation of government policies regarding the environment, and remind companies to be more environmentally friendly. In these ways, we can help protect the environment. And then you can end it. I shall be highly obliged to you for your act of kindness of providing a little space to my views in your esteemed newspaper. And you can end as yours truly, Manisha, as they have mentioned. And then we can discuss. This is really a big one. However, we can talk about the same. We all know now the impact of Chat GPT on education. So, a question says, write an article on the impact of Chat GPT on education in about 175 words, 10 marks. We can begin it this way. Artificial intelligence has gained steam in recent years and is playing an increasingly prominent role in almost every industry, including education. Whether it's personalized learning, automated grading, intelligent tutoring systems, or virtual learning assistants. Artificial intelligence tools have become essential for educational institutions. They provide invaluable help, leading to cost savings and improved learning outcomes. So, an artificial intelligence assistant bot, has been on the radar of educators, students, regulators, and education specialists since its release in November 2022. Many are debating whether artificial intelligence technology is suitable for the education industry, with optimism and caution. Learners and instructors are optimistic because they believe the tool will improve their learning and teaching. However, on a cautionary note, some experts believe that ChatGPT is a double-edged sword because it poses cheating possibilities and exacerbates educational inequity. So we are going to see on evaluating both sides of the issue. We will focus on various sections of the education sector, all right? And we can also provide some solutions or best practices for the same. So basically, what are the primary use causes for Chat GPT, and how can it disrupt the traditional learning process or threaten different incumbents in the education and edtech space? First of all, Chat GPT can enhance personalized learning. The tool allows teachers to create lesson plans and personalize materials in minutes instead of hours. Teachers can create a more engaging and effective learning experience for their students. Because of its potential to offer one-to-one instruction for learners and answer questions in real time, ChatGPT can challenge online tutoring solutions providers such as Chegg, Think Academy, or Tutor.com. Students will benefit as they can study at their own pace and focus on areas of improvement. Second point which we can talk about is ChatGPT can provide targeted and tailored feedback as it evaluates learners' output. That allows students to close educational gaps by identifying strengths and weaknesses that were difficult to spot and address. Some online providers like Coursera already use artificial intelligence to identify frequently made mistakes learners make in their homework. Teachers can also create customized tests and assessments using ChatGPT to generate content. The quasi-free nature of the tool and its versatility might endanger the business model for some companies. ChatGPT also helps in reading comprehension skills, okay? And it's also important use is as a writing assistant. It allows students and teachers to generate content ideas that inspire them to write essays on any topic. Moreover, the cons in ChatGPT could be plagiarism is a major problem in academia. Another issue is ChatGPT's ability to pass exams in different domains. The artificial intelligence bot has passed a Wharton Business School exam, the United States medical licensing exam, and 4 law courses at the University of Minnesota. Artificial intelligence tools can pass the history, art, microbiology, physics, or mathematics exams. Academic dishonesty is also an issue because of ChatGPT's ability to write scientific articles that could qualify for a first academic review. So this is a negative impact. So we've discussed about the same. So to end here with is that again, it has the pros and cons, and it is on us to decide what best suits for the impact of ChatGPT on education. The next says write a paragraph on each of any two of the following. First says child as the father of man. The phrase child as father of man, coined by renowned poet William Wordsworth in the year 1802, the term basically means that the behavior and activities of a person's childhood go on a long way in building his personality. However, it has interpreted in other ways as well. Let us learn about the same as well as the teaching it provides. The child is the father of man. The different interpretations are a man is basically a product of behavior and manners he developed during his growing years, mainly in his early childhood. The second one says the behavior of a child determines as to what he will become when he grows up. The third mentions the way a person is during his childhood, he remains exactly that way in his adulthood as well. The basic nature and behavior of a person does not change with age or time. Though interpreted differently, the meaning of the proverb remains more or less the same. Conclusion, we can say the idiom, the child is the father of man, is used quite commonly, mainly to indicate that a person's childhood habits majorly impact his overall character, and this is actually true to a great extent. It is thus essential to develop good habits during a childhood. The next one says, one swallow does not make a summer. This could be said as the proverb has its origin in an ancient Greek proverb which translates as one swallow does not make a spring. In ancient Greece, the swallow was regarded as the herald of spring, and there was much rejoicing when one was seen. One of Aesop's fables tells the tale of a young man who, on seeing a swallow, assumed that spring had arrived and sold his winter coat to get money to spend on pleasure. Unfortunately for him, the swallow had mistaken a spell of unusually sunny weather for spring and had returned too early from its winter migration. When the cold weather returned, the young man regretted the sale of his coat, realizing the spring had not come after all. So basically, the proverb, one swallow doesn't make a summer, means that if a person has succeeded once, it does not necessarily mean that he will continue to do so. The occurrence of one good event in life does not indicate a trend. It also does not indicate that things will continue to improve or get better. Spotting a single swallow bird is not an indication of the onset of summer, and likewise, one successful event does not ensure success and failure. So I think we've covered most of it, and I hope this has been helpful. Now I would like to end the session. Please feel free to mention any feedback.